Notice, the following is an opinion piece. The views displayed herein do not necessarily reflect the views of Flyer News, FHS TV, FEC TV, Access Framingham, or any of their members or affiliated organizations. I've had a lot of time to think after Parkland. I've had a lot of time to think after Sutherland Springs. I've had a lot of time to think after Las Vegas, Orlando, San Bernardino, Newtown. I'm here to say that it is not too soon anymore. The time for action is now. In 2016, Massachusetts had the lowest gun violence rate in the country, with only 3.4 deaths by firearm per 100,000 population. You must have a permit to purchase, own, and carry any firearm, and you must have a firearms identification card. In 2016, Alaska had the highest gun violence rate in the country, with nearly 8 times as many gun deaths per capita as Massachusetts. There are no laws preventing anyone 16 or older from having a gun in the state of Alaska. These trends hold true almost unanimously among every single state in the US. Is this not enough evidence? Australia suffered through a gruesome massacre in Port Arthur in 1996, where 35 people were killed and 26 were wounded by a man named Martin Bryant, who wielded an AR-15. Hey, I'm seeing a pattern. Following this, Australia hosted a massive gun buyback and instituted many new laws aimed at moderating gun ownership. The result? The rate of death by firearms decreased immediately, and they have continued to decrease since then. Better yet, they didn't see a concurrent increase in other types of homicides. Japan is even more strict. You have to attend an all-day class, take a written exam, pass a shooting range accuracy test with 95% or better, take and pass both mental health and drug tests, submit to in-depth background tests, and submit to inspections by the police. You can only get more ammunition by returning the spent cartridges from your previous purchase. You can only have shotguns or air rifles. The result? Japan has the lowest gun violence rate in the industrialized world. They had 6 total deaths as a result of firearms in 2014, and one of the lowest intentional homicide rates anywhere in the world. We, as a country, have sacrificed tens of thousands of lives to an amendment in a document written 230 years ago. Guns in that time could fire maybe 1 round every 10 seconds, and those are the guns that this amendment was considering when written. There is no reason why any person's desire to own a firearm should supersede our sense of common safety. We have lost far too many people as a result of politicians who would rather accept a check from the NRA than fight for a meaningful, effective legislature that would stop the senseless violence we are faced with every day. No, I would not feel safer with a gun in every classroom or an armed police officer in every corner. I would feel safer if we didn't have to worry about anyone getting their hands on a weapon that can be easily and legally modified to fire 9 rounds per second. The time for action is now. We need stricter background checks, waiting periods, compulsory classes on safety, buybacks, anything of substance that gets us even a step closer to putting a stop to these tragedies. For any of our politicians who refuse to sponsor legislation that would have saved so many lives, I implore you to look into the eyes of the many who have lost family and close friends to these tragedies and think, is the money really worth it? This has been Colin Dowdy with Flyer News. Thank you for listening.